Okay, howdy, Anson Garcia with Tier 2 UC Engineering, and I'm going to be going over the configuration of the mobile UC dock. Now, when it's in the dock, the Android phone or whatever phone you have in the dock registers through the Ethernet port in the back, through the IP network, to Communication Manager. So it's important to remember that outside the dock, there is a client still enabled, and it uses EFA to do dual stage dialing. You can look at my video on EFA, MBA, mobile UC to figure out how all that works. So again, in the dock, it registers as a phone and it uses the Ethernet infrastructure. Okay, so we have to configure a phone on Communication Manager just like we do any other Cisco IP phone or CS or what have you. Okay, so the first thing you do, and this is very briefly, this is not a deep dive on all the configuration, so but if you've configured things before, you'll know exactly what to do, and you could use this video to shore up any loose ends from the documentation. So you would go to security, and you need to create a security profile. For the particular phone, and it's a phone security profile. Now you can use the standard one, but the documentation will take you through creating another one. And I'll just show you the one I created here. You can actually use this third-party device advanced also if you want to, and there's one button you have to push in there, but best to create another one and name it so you know what it's used for. So here's mine here. I just created a new one. There's not many settings in here, just a few. Name, description, the announce validity time, and that comes up by default. So the only real thing you gotta change here from when you create this new one is this enable SIP, enable digest authentication. So this is what the phone uses to authenticate, log in, what have you. SIP devices, or these type of SIP devices, third-party SIP devices, would be Polycom or Verizon Wireless Mobile UC Dock, don't use MAC addresses, so they use the MAC addresses are kind of bogus. MAC addresses are funny MAC addresses, but they do use a digest authentication, which is the username and a password that gets passed over, so they can log in and register to the Communication Manager. Anyway, after you do that, then you go create your device, and let's go to phone, and it's very simple. You can add new device. I'll just show you this real quick, and the one you're going to pick is the third-party advanced SIP. This guy right here, third-party SIP device advanced. And after you go through this, I mean, it looks pretty much the same. There's a lot less configuration, quite frankly, and I'll show you when it's already configured here. Let me see if I can find it here. Here it is, and you can see right away that that's not a real MAC address. It's kind of a funny number there. As long as it's doesn't conflict with anything else, you can use whatever MAC you want. Alright, now this looks like a regular phone configuration. You got call, search space, all this other stuff. The thing you want to, a lot less, so that's the end of the configuration right there. So the things you want to do, obviously the things that you're most familiar with, device pool, description, and all that stuff. The thing you want to make sure, the owner user ID is selected, and you want to make sure that you pick the right device security profile, the one that you just made in the system security, phone security profile, and then the digest user here also, so that's part of the login process for this particular the phone dock. And that's really it. Then you, of course, do your regular stuff, create a line and things like that. And that's it. So pretty simple configuration as far as Communication Manager is concerned. Any questions, just email tier 2 or myself, Anson.Garcia@verizonbusiness.com. Thanks for listening.